All right, Chris Roberts here, former contender Antonio Diaz. In there I was talking with your brother, trainer Joel Diaz. You guys, your brother Julio is getting ready to fight Shawn Porter. You guys are very confident in that fight. Can you kind of elaborate on the fight and your brother's chances?
Oh, we're definitely confident because we know what my brother Julio can do. We know he has the skills, he has the experience to go in there to fight this young kid, Shawn Porter. He's a young prospect, but I don't think he's in the level yet. Julio, since he moved up to 147, he is stronger. He is a better fighter because now he's actually training for a fight, not just for the weight like he was doing those past fights.
And so for like 10, 12 years almost, he was squeezing himself down to 135, and that was just kind of killing him, really?
Yes, well, he was at 135 for, like I said, 11, 12, 13 years. And then when he decided to move to 140, I think he outgrew that weight class also. He should have never fought at that 140 because he was also struggling to make that weight. He should have just jumped up to 147 and do something at 147. But last time he fought Kendall Holt at 140, he basically dehydrated himself completely to make 142. So you saw what happened in the fight. So before that fight, he said, you know what, I'm not gonna retire without me trying something out, which is training for a fight, not just for the weight. So right now he's been training very well for the past 2-3 weeks. He's been 5-6 pounds over without dieting. He's eating healthy. He's eating 4 or 5 times a day, working hard and just focusing on the fight plan on his opponent, not on the weight.
And I talked to Tim Bradley about a week ago. He said he had been training. He's back to training like a few days a week. Yeah. Has he been coming to the gym or?
Yeah, well, he trains a couple of days here, and then he goes and does his training with his conditioning coach, and he's on and off, keeping himself in shape.
Do you feel? Have you seen him get that hunger back? For his next fight. I mean,
he definitely. He's hungry to get back in the ring. He's just waiting for an opponent for him. I don't know why these guys don't want to fight him. If he just came back from a very good fight with Manny Pacquiao, so I don't see why nobody wants to fight him right now since he's a champion, he's a title holder. But he'll get somebody and he'll do good in the next fight.
They're talking about even Mike Alvarado, maybe February 9th in Las Vegas. What do you think? Alvarado's coming off the loss to Rios. If Alvarado moves to 147 or whatever, do you think he has? How would you break down that fight?
I see Bradley breaking him down because his last fight he didn't look that great. He did okay, but he got hurt by a 140 pounder from Brandon Rios, and I would love to see Brandon Rios and Bradley.
Yeah,
that's the fight I would love to see. That'd be a great fight.
Now, just if you could tell me a little bit about yourself. People know you. You had a lot of fights on HBO. Ivan Robinson, Mickey Ward, some memorable wins. Do you miss those fighting days, or do you appreciate being a trainer more so? You know what?
I really miss being in the ring, being in action. I really miss training. Everything about the sport. But I gotta listen to my body. The body will tell you when it's time.
Yeah.
And whenever you can't wake up in the morning that easy to go run, that's when your body's telling you. You know what? That's it. My arms, my elbows are hurt. They hurt every time I throw punches. That's when I started feeling all that. That's when I decided. My body wants me to retire. I wish I could get back in there. I had so many wars in my young career. When I was young, I had a lot of great fights, so I have great wars. But I think that's all coming in effect at this time, at this stage of my career, of my age. But I miss all of that. But I also enjoy being a trainer. I'm training some great kids, some great fighters, and I'm enjoying all that.
And one of your fights fought for the WBO, I think welterweight title against Antonio Margarito. Really tough fight. He came on strong late. I think he scored a late round TKO. What do you remember most about that night?
I remember the whole fight.
Yeah.
I remember the whole fight. I remember him, I mean, hitting me at the beginning of the fight. I was taking punches like nothing, you know, and I was coming in strong and landing my combinations, landing my punches. But then, you know, he got me. He got me, you know, with the. Our plan was always to step to our left, which is away from his left, because he had the left uppercut.
Yeah.
And then I think it was in the 8th or 9th, 10th round where I stayed and I was leaning too much to my right, which was to his left. He caught me with a good uppercut, went down to my knee, and you know, things happen, you know. And after that, well, my brother didn't stop the fight. He pushed me back to the corner and started punching me, but he wasn't hitting me much. But my brother didn't see he wasn't hitting me, and he stopped the fight. But I mean, it was a great fight, great experience. I had just got married 2.5 months before that. You know, I got back from my honeymoon. They told me, "Oh, you fight Margarito and for the world title and so much weight." I was like, "What the heck?" I just got back from my honeymoon. Like, let's get back to training. So, I mean, I started training. It is what it is, and things didn't go as planned.
And you mentioned, you know, training your brother. Have you really enjoyed seeing your brother Joel get a lot of kind of respect because of his work with Tim Bradley and Tim Bradley's success?
You know, I'm really happy. I'm happy for my brother. I think he really deserves a little bit of credit, you know, or a lot of credit, because, I mean, he does work with Bradley. He was, I mean, even though Bradley started at a young age with another trainer, you gotta understand that when you're fighting pro and amateur, it's totally different. Different styles, different workouts, everything's different. And Joel got Bradley from his first pro debut to the world title fights, you know, by himself, and he switched him over, and he's been working with them very hard. And not only Bradley, but I mean, he helped me through my whole career. You know, he helped me through my career, helped my brother Julio through our career and our training. Lee Espinoza and him would help us out. I mean, they were a team. They would help us out. And then he also worked with Omar Figueroa, Vicente Escobedo. He worked with Amir Mars for a couple fights, you know. I mean, I really think he's a great trainer, and I think he really deserves some credit, you know, for what he's been doing.
And last thing I was going to ask, you mentioned Tim Bradley. You know, if fights like Alvarado, like say if he wins that fight, what kind of fights would you look for him? You know, there's guys like Danny Garcia, Guerrero, even Mayweather.
You know, Guerrero looked good this last fight with Berto. I mean, that would be a good fight for Bradley. But I mean, I would like to see Bradley and Pacquiao. No, I mean Bradley Pacquiao 2 or Bradley and Mayweather. You know, those would be great fights. But the fight I really would like to see is him and Brandon Rios.
Really?
Him and Brandon Rios will be a great fight, you know. 140. I know Bradley can make 140. 147 if Brandon wants to come up, or they can meet at a catchweight. Now there's catchweights for everything.
How familiar have you been with Brandon Rios? You know, he trains in kind of nearby Oxnard. I mean, have you gotten to follow his career closely?
I mean, I know Brandon Rios is a good guy. He's a friend. I know Robert Garcia. I've known Robert Garcia for a long time. He's a good friend of ours, and I mean, much respect for him and to his camp. We go. I mean, every time I go to Oxnard, I stop by his gym, and I mean, they treat us very well. And I have nothing bad to say about them. But I just say, you know, a fight with Bradley and Rios will be a fight that the fans would enjoy, because Brandon Rios, as you know, likes to bring it, and Bradley, once he feels that they're bringing it to him, he's gonna bring it also. You know, he don't back up, and it'll be a great fight.
Thanks.